What's up, my doggies?
Salutations.
Today it's my turn. It's going to be a lot of me talking. It's time to get patriotic. It is Ellen Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables, Canadian classic from 1908. Look me in the eye. I love this story so much. Y'all don't even know. Okay, y'all don't even know how much I love this story. I've seen basically every adaptation. I haven't seen the Isao Takahata Studio Ghibli-esque one.
Well, that's disappointing. How could you have not seen it? As the world's biggest Anne fan, how can you possibly justify it?
This is so sad. Okay, but you know what's even
for you,
sadder?
Very sad for you.
Hey, you know what's even sadder? Fun fact about us. We met doing the musical version. I'm going to recount only the first book, and he's not going to remember like any of it. Do you remember any of it, other than pulling hair?
I remember a good amount of it.
Y'all know there's still fandom, even though the book's over 100 years old.
Where is this fandom?
Around.
Is there a subreddit?
Probably, actually.
And you're not in it?
I'm on Pinterest, okay? Because I'm a mom. But I know that there's a fandom because the latest adaptation, Netflix's Anne with an E, had a cult following. And everyone was like, why are people going buck wild over this 100-year-old story adapted to a Netflix special show? Like, if you have read it and really internalized it and threw yourself in, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you read it and you don't like it, you're probably doing okay mentally. But in my humble opinion, the reason that Anne has done so well is because of bibliotherapy. So bibliotherapy is kind of what it sounds like. It's like getting therapy through reading.
Book therapy. It's
book therapy,
so
basically.
It's therapy, but cheaper.
Extremely. I was going to make a joke saying cancel your therapist and read a book, but I don't want to endorse that. Stay in therapy. I didn't, and look what happened to me.
What happened with your therapist? Why are you not in therapy anymore?
She fired me. My therapist was just like, I don't know what you want me to say to you anymore. And I was like, it's your job to know. I have citations.
See, last video, I didn't have to brag about my citations to you. You're really going at it, showing off that you have citations. You don't have to brag about it.
I was trying to help you by not giving you more to edit. Guess what? Now you have to you can put up the works cited and have me talk about it. So how about that?
Okay.
Irene Gamel's Anne's World, A New Century of Anne of Green Gables, talking about, the new century, and how Anne will inevitably influence yet another generation. And Alison Kavanagh and Sarah Baylor, they did a study. It's called Adolescent Loneliness and Social Anxiety, the Role of Multiple Sources of Support.
And so what do you need?
You need, the three big ones are friends, family, and a teacher. You need a good teacher.
You need an academic citation to tell you that you need friends?
Unfortunately, some people do. So, big surprise. Big surprise, you need friends. Big surprise. But basically, that's what the first book really hones in on and focuses on. That is Anne. That's Anne Shirley Cuthbert. She's the protagonist, obviously. Her name's in the title. She's an orphan from Halifax, which is pretty common in 1908. Not to be from Halifax, but to be an orphan. She goes to Prince Edward Island to live with Marilla and Matthew. And it's not till she gets there that it's revealed that, newsflash, they wanted a boy.
And then they sent her back, and that was the end of the book.
No, whoa. It's almost like they kept her or something. So, in the beginning, as you could tell by her situation, not doing too hot. Anne is not doing too hot, at all.
And also has red hair, which...
She does, yes.
Did not help.
That didn't help. Luckily, we're not in times where having red hair automatically means you're a witch. They didn't like her. People did not like her. because she was an orphan, like that was her choice. But whatever. She's characterized as being very headstrong and opinionated and creative. But she also has this like horrible temper. Same. She has this horrible temper that causes a lot of trouble for her. And it makes a lot of people like not like her. She's incredibly smart. She's so smart and witty and just cool. Like for 1908 to be that cool, damn. All right. Next up, Gilbert, this guy, the big guy. He's great. He's just hardworking. He's just kind of young guy. He's cool. He's smart. He's the love interest. He's the love interest. She hates him. She hates him with every fiber of her being. She hates him, but it's fine. He's iconic because, you know, she breaks a chalkboard over his head and then he's like, what'd you do that for? I'm gonna love you forever. I was like, what? That's so cute. They had to sit next to each other in school and he like slid her a little candy, a little heart candy, and she went, doosh, and threw it on the floor and broke it under her foot. Isn't that so romantic?
That's
cute.
Your idea of romantic?
Isn't it so cute?
Just like smashing things?
Yeah. It's so cute.
Oh man.
So that's Gilbert.
God.
And then there's Matthew and Marilla. We talked about Matthew. He's just this old man. They're siblings, by the way. So
Matthew and
Marilla are siblings. Matthew's just this old man, and he's really quiet and doesn't talk a lot, but he's so like he has a heart of gold. He's always like really supportive of Anne and everything she wants to do. And Marilla loves Anne too, but she's just so like cold, and took it upon herself to be the disciplinarian, and it's like funky. Diana is her best friend. Clock this. What was one of the things you needed? Family, which we now have. Friends, which we now have 2 of. Diana is Anne's bosom friend, her kindred spirit. She is everything and more. Anne gets her drunk. On accident. She was supposed to give her raspberry cordial, but she gave her currant wine. And then she got drunk.
Don't you just love it when you accidentally get your friend drunk?
My God.
That kind of reminds me of the scene in Brooklyn Nine-Nine where they keep getting each other drunk by bringing up like how sad they are.
I'm so sad.
I like vaguely remember this.
You're a fake fan.
I am not a fake fan.
Just like you're a fake fan of Anne, you're a fake fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Wow.
I hate this narrative.
This is disappointing.
I hate this narrative because it's just simply not true.
Oh.
I feel like I've watched the entirety of Brooklyn Nine-Nine more times than you.
And yet you still don't remember.
Wow.
Ouchie.
We'll do a Brooklyn Nine-Nine video and then we'll see who's a fake fan. Last but not least, the last of the trifecta that you need to have a good, healthy childhood is the mentor. And that is Miss Stacy. Miss Stacy is just the new school teacher who is much better than stinky old Mr. Phillips.
Okay.
And she encourages Anne and everyone else to just kind of like do their best. And Anne is like, she's a kindred spirit. So she studies so hard that she comes in first and beats everyone and Gilbert so many times. There is just so much room for familiarity for readers. Everyone has like a crush. Everyone has a best friend. And if you don't, who has it? Anne. And guess what you could do? Live vicariously through her. So that's partially why this is so comforting, is these characters and the world just feel so real. Why does all this stuff feel real? Well, it's because Ellen Montgomery, the author, she based all of this on like her real life. She also based a lot of the comforting aspects on what she needed to make herself feel better, because Ellen Montgomery wrote this book when she was having bouts of depression. She suffered a lot with mental health throughout her entire life. And she wrote Anne to cope.
How do you know about that?
That was in one of my citations! That's why I brought it up. That's why I brought up my citation. It has all the things you need to feel good. So good that they gave this book to like, I think it was Polish soldiers in World War I? Or World War II?
Two? Probably two.
Two. second one. Yes, World War II for comfort is that she was taking inspiration from what she needed. So even though there weren't like, studies and stuff done at the time, a lot of the answers were pretty intuitive and she wrote them first. That's why Anne is still so relevant and comforting, and why people go back to the book so many times, especially after bouts of hardship, if you want some familiarity and comfort, and that's what Anne gives. They say the enemies to lovers, guys. If there are any Wattpad girlies watching, if there are any Wattpad girlies, fan fiction readers who just love enemies to lovers, read it. Read it. Please.
Was this the original Enemies to Lovers?
No,
or was
Enemies to Lovers is very old. Like, I feel
Okay.
like there's other stories than just this one. But I just love, she is so mean to him and he's just like, okay. But,
I can do the double tuck too.
But like, do it again. But like, maybe hit me over the head again though. And it's cute. It's so cute. But anyway.
So then circling back to the idea of bibliotherapy.
Yeah.
Why is it that Anne having these things and having the friends, family, and a mentor, why is that comforting for someone else who's just reading a book?
Well, a lot of times when you're reading, you're really putting yourself into the shoes of usually the main character. So when you do that, a lot of people say, hey, you're probably at a point in your life where maybe you're missing one of these things. Maybe you're grieving. Maybe you don't have any friends at this moment. That's how I got into it. There was like a period of time where I was like, God, I wish I had friends. It was very relatable for me, especially Anne. She talks, like, there's aspects of Anne that usually people can identify with. Like, she talks a lot and she's just generally very confrontational and kind of naughty and creative.
Do you have a citation about living vicariously through someone else?
Somewhere. It's the suspension of disbelief is what happens when you're reading or watching a movie. I'm pretty sure that's like the academic title of it. But if you don't suspend your disbelief, you can't fully invest into a story or a movie, Because the whole time you're going to be like, that's so fake, dude. That's so fake. Groot, a walking tree, that's fake. But instead you watch and you go, damn, I would kill for Groot. Especially baby Groot, I would kill for him. And why? You're suspending your disbelief. So that's what happens when you read and escape into a world and live vicariously through characters. You suspend your disbelief. If you can't do that, you're lame. You are lame if you don't do that. Because, hey, have fun.
I kind of got a little bit of that.
Actually, that is true. When we watch
I will say I find it sometimes, occasionally, challenging to just let go of all this stuff. Especially with like time travel movies. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about. All right. So that's all I got for today in this very heavily condensed academic dive into the bibliotherapeutic elements of Anne of Green Gables. Yeah.
All right.
That was very slay.
Live, laugh, love.